A very good morning, students. In the previous session, we have started that unit 3, that is polymer chemistry. And in the previous session, we have seen what is mean by the polymer and polymerization process and what is mean by the monomer, degree of polymerization and the functionality. Just let us recall what is mean by the polymer. What is mean by the polymer? Polymer is a macromolecule which is synthesizing by the combination of a larger number of smaller molecules. So when a larger number of smaller molecules are combined, we are getting the new compound. That new compound is called the polymer, and which is a macromolecule. Macromolecule is nothing but the big molecule. And the process of formation of polymer is called the polymerization. And what is the degree of polymerization? The number of monomers. The number of monomers in the polymerization process is called degree of polymerization. So whatever the number is repeating in the polymerization process is called the degree of polymerization. And the other one was functionality. And functionality is nothing but the number of bonding sites or the number of active sites or the number of active functional groups is called the functionality. How can you say the bonding sites, how many bonding sites are present in the particular monomer? Based on the pi bond. If we have one double bond, we can say that two bonding sites are there. If we have the two double bonds, we can say that four bonding sites are there. If we have the three double bonds, we can say six bonding sites are there. So each double bond is representing the two bonding sites. If we have the triple bond, for example, if we have the triple bond, in the triple bond, how many pi bonds are there? These are the pi bonds and this is the sigma bond. So we have the two pi bond, but each pi bond is indicating the two bonding sites. There are two pi bonds in the triple bond. So each pi bond is representing the two bonding sites. That means total four bonding sites are there if the monomer is having the triple bond. And that is about the functionality. Yes. So now let us see the next topic. This is classification of polymer on different bases. So let us see the classification of polymers. There are various classifications are there. In the previous class, we have seen only based on the origin. And today, just let us recall the classification based on the origin, and along with that, just let us see what are the remaining classifications of polymers. And this is today I'm going to explain you the classification of polymers based on the different bases. Yes. So some basic definitions, classification of polymers. Today I'm going to explain you some basic definitions also, which already we have seen in the previous class. So just let us recall again. And classification of polymers based on the origin, based on the monomer, based on thermal response. Thermal is nothing but heat response. And based on mode of formation, based on the structure, based on the application and physical properties, and based on the tacticity. Let us see one by one. The first one, based on the origin. But before that, let us see what is the definition of polymer. We know that a polymer is one of the large molecule or the macromolecule made when hundreds of monomers join together to form a long chain. Here, this is the single monomer. This is a single monomer. See here, when a various number of monomers are joining with each other, we are getting a long molecule. This long molecule is called the polymer. And this already we have seen how the polymer came from the Greek and what is meant by the polymer. And what is meant by the monomer? Monomer is nothing but the smaller molecule in the polymerization. Whatever the molecules are repeating in the polymerization process, that is called the monomer here. And you know what is meant by the polymerization? Polymerization is nothing but the process of formation of polymer. How the monomers are joining with each other in the polymerization process. That process is called the polymerization. And now let us see the classification of polymers. So this we have seen in the first slide. Let us see the first classification based on the origin. So origin is nothing but source. We have only two sources. One is the nature and another one is the human being or laboratory. So based on the origin or source, we have two types of polymers. What are the two types of polymers? One is called natural polymer and another one is called the synthetic. This is also called as a man-made polymer. What is mean by the natural polymer? The polymer which are isolated from natural materials are called a natural polymer. So whatever the materials, whatever the polymers are synthesizing in the nature, such type of polymers are called the natural polymers. For example, silk, wool, natural rubber, cellulose, starch, protein, etc. Yes. So here I have given one example. And Hevea brasiliensis. Hevea brasiliensis is one of the material. By using this material, we are synthesizing the natural rubber. It is one of the natural process. This is the main source of the natural rubber. This is called Hevea brasiliensis, which comes from the tree. And now semi-synthetic polymers. The polymers obtained by simple chemical treatment of natural polymers to improve their physical properties like lustrous nature, tensile strength are called semi-synthetic polymers. You know what is mean by the natural polymer. You know what is mean by the synthetic polymer also. We know natural polymer is nothing but the polymer which is synthesizing in the nature. Completely the source is the nature only, which is completely the natural polymer. But whereas synthetic polymer means the polymer completely synthesizing in the laboratory with the help of human being. But semi-synthetic polymer is nothing but it is not completely synthetic polymer, which is not completely synthesizing in the laboratory. It is semi-synthesized. That means we are adding some of the chemicals to the natural materials to improve their properties. To improve the properties of the natural material or natural polymers, we are adding some chemicals. Such type of polymers are called semi-synthetic polymer. For example, cellulose acetate, cellulose nitrate. Yes. So these are the examples. These are the examples of semi-synthetic polymers. And next one, synthetic polymers. That we know synthetic polymers are nothing but the polymers which are synthesizing in the laboratory from low molecular weight compounds are called synthetic polymers. So whatever the low molecular compounds are there, those compounds are converted to the synthetic polymers in the laboratory. That is called synthetic polymers. So example, nylon, terylene, polyethylene, polystyrene, synthetic rubber, nylon, PVC, bakelite, Teflon, etc. This is one of the synthetic rubber, and tape also one of the synthetic material. And these plates also, the fiber plates also made of the synthetic material. And next, based on the monomer. You know what is mean by the monomer? Monomer is nothing but the reactant in the polymerization. The left side of the thing in the polymerization process is called the monomer. The smaller molecule, the smaller unit in the polymerization is called the monomer. But based on that monomer, we have two types of polymers. One is called homopolymer and another one is called the copolymer. Homopolymer means if the polymer is synthesizing by using the same monomer unit. That means only one type of monomer is repeating for n number of times. Only one monomer is repeating for n number of times. But in the copolymer, we are using the different monomers to synthesize the polymer. If we use only one type of monomer, that is called the homopolymer. If we use two different kind of monomer units, that is called the copolymer. A polymer consists of identical monomer is called the homopolymer. Identical is nothing but the same monomer. If the same monomer is repeating, such type of polymers are called the homopolymers. Example, polyethylene. Already we have seen in the previous class, PVC, propylene, nylon 6, 6. Here, nylon 6. Yes, not only nylon 6, not nylon 6, 6. Here, all these polymers are the homopolymer. What is mean by the homopolymer? If the polymer is synthesizing by using a single monomer or single type of monomer, and that single type of monomer is repeating for n number of times. And the next one, copolymers. A polymer consists of monomers of different chemical structures are called copolymers. That means if the different type of monomers are joining with each other, that is called the copolymer. Example, nylon 6, 6. Nylon 6, 6 is the example of copolymer. Not only nylon 6, 6, we have many type of copolymers. Kevlar is there, Bunaeus rubber is there, butyl rubber is there. Here, all these are comes under copolymer. And next classification by thermal response. Next classification based on the thermal response. Based on the thermal response, we have two types of polymers. One is called thermoplastics and another one is the thermosettings. What is meant by the thermoplastics? They are easily molded into desired shape by heating and subsequently cooling at the room temperature. That means which is affected by the heat. When we heat, these are converted to soft material. And again on cooling, these are converted to the hard material. Again on heating, becomes soft. Again on cooling, becomes very hard. Such type of polymers are called the thermoplastic polymers. They are soft in hot and hard on cooling. Yes, these are soft on hot and hard on cooling. When we are cooling, it becomes hard. And when it is heating, it becomes soft. They may be linear or branched chain polymers. So let us see these examples. You know, polythene cover. When you heat the polythene cover, it becomes soft. Again on cooling, it becomes very hard. And even these type of plastics also, some type of plastics, these plastics on heating become soft. Again on cooling, these are becoming hard. Yes, even PVC also, one of the thermoplastic. Yes, so PVC, the polyvinyl chloride pipes, PVC pipes are there. When we are heating, it is becoming soft. Again on cooling, these are becoming hard. Yes, so that is thermoplastic polymers. And next type of polymers based on the thermal response is thermosetting polymers. Thermosetting polymers. In the name itself, we have thermosetting. This polymer is hard and infusible on heating. Infusible means this is not fused on heating. So here, such type of materials on initial heating, these are getting into particular shape. Once it is getting into the particular shape, when we are heating again, these are not becoming soft. So once setting into the particular shape, these cannot be remolding. These are not fusible. These are not soft on heating under pressure and they are not remolded. Again on heating, these are not becoming soft like thermoplastics. So these are not remolding. So whatever the shape we need, we can't remold. Once setting into particular shape, we cannot be remolding. But whereas thermoplastics, whatever the shape we want, even if we get the particular shape, whatever the shape we need again, on heating, we can get into our desired shape. That means again, we can remold it. But whereas thermosetting plastics, we cannot remold. These are cross-linked polymers. See here, this is the cross-linking structure. See here, this is the cross-linking structure, which is having the three-dimensional structure of the cross-linking structure. Example is the bakelite. See here, these are also plastic materials, but once setting into the particular shape, these are not becoming soft on heating them. This is the structure of bakelite, and bakelite is part of our syllabus, which is very, very important question in the external examination. So bakelite comes under which type of polymer? Thermosetting polymer. This is based on the thermal behavior. So now let us see the next classification based on mode of formation. Based on mode of formation. Mode of formation is nothing but mechanism. How the particular polymer is forming. Based on that, we have two types of polymers. One is called additional polymers and another one is the condensational polymers. Let us see one by one. In additional polymers, all the monomers are adding to one to another. So when the monomers are adding to one to another, we will get a polymer chain without loss of molecules. In the previous class, I explained that maybe there is a loss of molecule or maybe there is no loss of molecule in the polymerization process. Some of the polymers are synthesizing by the removal of molecules. After removal of molecules only, the polymer is synthesizing. But whereas in some cases, without removal of molecules, the polymer is synthesizing. So in additional polymers, when the monomers are adding to one to another, there is no loss of molecule. Without loss of molecule, the polymer is synthesizing. Such type of polymer is called the additional polymer. So the polymers formed by the addition of monomers repeatedly without removal of byproducts are called addition polymers. So these polymers contains all the atoms of monomers, hence their molecular weight are integral multiple of monomer unit. I said now that there is no loss of molecules. If there is no loss of molecules, whatever the number of monomers are repeating, that molecular weight is equal to the molecular weight of the product. For example, let us assume 5 moles of ethylene is participating in the polymerization. How many moles? 5 moles of ethylene is participating in the polymerization. We know that each ethylene molecular weight is 28. Yes, but how many ethylene molecules are repeated? 5 molecules of ethylene is repeated. That means what should be the molecular weight of the polymer? It should be 28 into 5. Yes, obviously the molecular weight of the polymer is 28 into 5 because in this polymerization process, there is no loss of molecules. Without losing molecules, we are getting the polymer. So the polymer molecular weight in the additional polymerization is integral multiple of monomer unit. So that is integral multiple is nothing but whatever the integer is repeating, that is multiplying with monomer molecular weight. That is additional polymers. And the next one, condensational polymerization. Condensation means there is a loss of water molecule. That is mean by the condensation. There is a loss of water molecule here. Yes. So here in the condensational polymerization, the polymer is synthesizing due to the loss of molecule. When there is a loss of molecule, then only the polymer is synthesizing in the condensational polymerization. They are formed by the combination of two monomers by removal of small molecules like water, alcohol, or ammonia. So a smaller molecule is repeating during this polymerization process. So that is called condensational polymerization. And their molecular mass, that means monomer molecular mass, is not the integral multiple of monomer unit. Why the polymer molecular weight is not integral multiple of monomer? Because there is a loss of molecules. So due to losing the molecules, the molecular weight is reduced. So our polymer molecular weight is less than the integral multiple of the monomer unit. So they have ester and amide linkage in their molecules. That means the monomer must be having the functional groups. What type of functional groups? It is having maybe esters, amides. Esters and amides are there in the polymer. But to form esters and the amides, the monomer must be having the active functional groups. What are the active functional group? Maybe NH2 functional group is there, amino functional group, carboxylic acid functional group, or chloro or hydroxy. If the monomer is having such type of functional groups, then only it is participating in the condensational polymerization. So let us see one example here. See here, these are the two monomers, and this is the example of nylon 6,6. This is nylon 6,6, and these are the two monomers here. What is the first monomer? CH2 taken 6, NH2, NH2. That is called hexamethylene diamine. And the second monomer is the adipic acid. Look at the first monomer. In the first monomer, do we have the active functional groups or not? Yes, we have the active functional groups. What are the active functional groups here? NH2 is the active functional group. But whereas in the second monomer, it is having the active functional group. What is the active functional group here? COOH is the active functional group. So here, these two monomers are adding with each other, and there is a loss of water molecule. How the water is losing? From NH2 hydrogen, from carboxylic acid OH. This OH, this hydrogen is eliminating in the form of water molecule. And here this OH with other hydrogen, because these are repeating a number of times. So these two are repeating alternatively. So when these two are repeating alternatively, there is a loss of water molecule. Yes, so when there is a loss of water molecule, we are getting such type of volume. So here hydrogen is eliminating, here OH is eliminating. Due to loss of hydrogen and OH, there is a new bond between NH and C double bond O. See here, NH and C double bond O, and remaining are joining with each other due to the loss of water molecule. And this is based on the mode of formation or based on the mechanism. And remaining classification we will see in the next class. Thank you so much.